Material Connection İtalya'da 2006 yılından bu yana satış, pazarlama ve iş geliştirme direktörü olarak görev yapan Paolo Cancellato, Ağustos 2012 itibariyle Yapı Endüstri Merkezi bünyesinde faaliyet gösteren yenilikçi malzemeler konusundaki tasarım merkezi Material Connection İstanbul'un direktörlüğünü yürütmektedir. Üniversite Cattolica del Sacro Cuore di Milano'da ekonomi, işletme, ticari hukuk ve uluslararası pazarlar alanlarında eğitim alan Cancellato, önce 2005'te Material Connection New York'ta görev yaptı. Ardından İtalya'ya dönüp satış, pazarlama ve iş geliştirme alanlarında yöneticilik yaparak Fiat, Samsung, Unilever, Luxottica, 3M, Cassina gibi markaların projelerini ve bir tasarım müzesi ve etkinlik alanı olan La Triennale di Milano'da sergi ve çeşitli aktiviteler yürüttü. Sayın Paolo Cancellato'yu malzeme inovasyonu, malzemeler aracılığıyla yenilik stratejisi konulu sunuşunu yapmak üzere sahneye davet ediyorum.
Hi everybody, and thanks for coming. As a first thing, I want to say thank you to the Izmir Chamber of Commerce to invite me here, and for the Izmir Economic University to host us today. So, I'm sorry. There's something wrong. Okay. Okay, now here we are. So, today I want to talk to you about innovation strategy process and how about innovative material can be a part of this process or even the starting point of it. First thing first, we're going to talk about the business context and which are the factors that are affecting the today innovation. Then we will try to understand what is the innovation strategy and which are the factors that are combining to realize it. Then we will go through some cases, some success stories of products that are affected by the material innovation. In the second part, we will go through to understand how much technology affected the material industry and which are the new generation of products that are coming thanks to that. So the last part will be a selection of innovative materials, and in particular eco-materials that can be changed some industries like the architecture or the fashion or the interior design. The last part will be a short description about material connection and how material connection can help Turkey in particular to become more innovative and more sustainable. So, as I said, as the first thing, we are going to analyze today's business context. And the first thing it's important to remind is that the recent crisis started in 2008 had changed so many things in the mass production market and forced the big brands to change their strategy in order to preserve their competitive advantage. So creating new business model is not just about products, and the thinking process can be applied just to product and services, but has to involve all the aspects of the business and like marketing or the production and the processes. So let's start analyzing the factors that are affecting today's business context. And the first is related to the products. The product life is getting shorter and shorter. That's because products are becoming every day more complex and at the same time cheaper to produce. This is the reason why most of the time the customer doesn't want to doesn't want to repair our products when it got broken, but they prefer to repair it because it's probably not cheaper, but almost. And at the same time, the symbolic value of products are increasing. So just think about that. As I said, you buy a new mobile phone, and after a few months it got broken. Probably if you want to repair it, you have to spend half of the price that you paid. And at the same time, there will be for sure new models coming into the market. So most of us are probably going to buy a new mobile phone instead of repair the old one. And this is also because there are more and more brands, thanks to the globalization, that are entering in the market, offering new innovation and new novelties. So the second factor that is changing today's context is the customers. I think that compared to my parents, I am today probably more consciousness in terms of how I'm spending my money. First thing first, because probably my budget, because of the crisis, is lower than them. And the second fact is that I have more information available before choosing a product. If my parents were affected just by the marketing, by the advertisement, today, before buying something, I can easily go in internet or buying some dedicated magazines and get all the information that I want about many different products. I can compare the features and the characteristic of the products, and I also can read the feedbacks and the reviews of many customers that already made the same choice. So this makes me less loyal compared to old customers to specific brands. If maybe 20 years ago my mom started to buy a white goods of a specific brand, she keep buying the same brand for years and years. Today the customer are able to drop an old product since comparing to a new one just because small changes in terms of prices or in terms of the offering of new features. So let's skip to the third part, which is the market. The market is nowadays hyper-fragmented. This is because there is much more competition in the marketplace because of the globalization, which is allowing brands from all over the world to enter into our market. But even if they can't enter physically in our market, they can also enter thanks to internet and to the e-commerce. So the increasing number of competitors and products in a market means also that are increasing the number of segments. And an increasing number of segments means also that the profits are going less and less for product of niche. So it's really important for today's companies to innovate and change their product, and if they are able also to create new market for their products. There is also a really dangerous risk for companies who are not able to innovate. That is called creative destruction. Sometimes new technology enter into the market and totally destroy old markets. An example, as we can see here, is the the Polaroid machine. But there are other examples like the VHS with the DVD. So, for example, talking about the Polaroid, Polaroid was selling very good products, and they keep going with good sales. But when the digital cameras enter into the market, one day to the other, they stop selling. So the fact they were selling good and forced them not to innovate their products, and the day the digital machines enter into the market, they were totally unable to innovate. There was no more time, and they got totally disappeared to the market. So the consequences of the things we are saying now is that innovation is the new competitive advantage, and innovation in incremental products is not enough anymore. We talk about incremental innovation in products when we consider all the small and predictable innovations that are applied to a product to create a new one. So new dimensions of business are necessary to modify and to create a new process and business model in today's context business. So, in order to understand how a company can introduce this kind of process, it's important to understand the two main factors that are affecting the process. The first one is creativity, which is the ability or the set of skills that are able to generate a new thing. And the second one is innovation, which is the process of taking a brand new idea and converting it into measurable value in a given context. Which means money and good products into the market. So as we can easily understand, there couldn't be innovation without creativity, because without creativity we cannot have original ideas. But at the same time, creativity is useless without innovation, because otherwise it's just a good idea and it can be applied into the market. So what is innovation strategy? Innovation strategy is the shift of a corporation business strategy in order to generate new thing, new value for both the customer and the corporation. So in this case, the innovation, the added value to the products is not only applied to the products itself, but it also generates a value for the whole corporation involving different aspects of the business, and also generate a value for the customers, which has something new to experience. Of course, innovation strategy can be always the right choice, and also incremental innovation could be a good way to innovate. As we can see here, there are advantages and drawbacks for both of them. Incremental innovation, which is the typical and traditional innovation from companies that are producing goods, it's easy to obtain, it's cheap, it's fast, it's less risky, because I know what is going to be probably the answer of the market, and also is going to provide profits and results in a very short time. But for all this reason, at the same time, it's also easy to be imitated by my competitors. They're going to reach me in the market in a very short time, and probably also going after me. And for this reason, my margin of profits is, of course, much less. On the other hand, innovation strategy, it's not easy to obtain. It's really risky, because if I'm not able, I'm going to waste a lot of money, because implement an innovation strategy could be really expensive. It could be really difficult. And also, most of the time, we cannot expect results in a short time, but we have to wait that the market assimilate and understand my innovation. But on the other hand, we have, if we are able to integrate a new strategy, the opportunity of business are grown for my company. I will be the first move. I will have the first move advantage. So I will be the first one creating this new thing, this new market, and I will be alone in this market. So this means that for my company, huge profits, because my competitor won't be able to reach me in this market in a very short time. So now we can see here how the companies has to introduce strategy innovation and to approach it. But let's start with the traditional strategy approach, which is basically is doing by understand the market, by listen to the market. So a company wants to make traditional strategy approach has to be reactive. The market is asking something, and I'm going to offer to the market what they are asking. So basically, I conform to the rule of the market. I'm doing what the market wants. The creative process in this way, it's applied only to the product. I know which is my product. I know what kind of innovation I have. The market is required to me, and I'm going to put just that innovation to the product. So basically, my company is not growing in terms of innovation, and on the other hand, even the customer is not receiving any new value. This approach, as we said, extended just the value of a product and create only value for the product and the company who create the value. The company, in order to integrate this process, has to planning from today to tomorrow. This means that, as we said, I know which is my product today. I know what the market wants. I know how can I add this innovation to the current products. And if I'm good enough, I am probably able to understand from the very beginning which is going to be the answer of the market. On the opposite of that, the strategy innovation approach requires a company to be proactive. This means that I'm not waiting from the market to tell me what they want, but I'm going to create new rules. I'm going to create a new products and a new business model around it. So I'm going to offer to the market something that maybe they don't know they want, but after I create it, of course, they will want it. And this is going to allow me to create competence that are going to be an asset for my corporation and advantages in the marketplace. So the creative thinking model, it can be applied just on the product, but it has to be applied on the entire business model of the company. From the R&D to the design to the marketing and to the way the customer are going to use and experience my products. So this creates new value. It's not just an adding value of the current product, but it's a totally new value. It's a totally new thing. And in this way, the value will be not just for the products and for the company, but also for the customer, which is going to have something new, something he never thought it could be existing. So regarding the planning of the strategy, it can be from today to tomorrow, but I have to think what I want to do, where I want to arrive, which is my goal. So the plan has to start from tomorrow, and then I have to figure out how can I reach the product of tomorrow, where I want to arrive, and what I have to do today in order to reach that point. So the dimension of the business innovation, of the strategy innovation, are three, and which are the products and the service, which is what, the process that is involving the marketing and the whole chains of value, and is the how I can implement this and offer to the market this innovation, and the business model, which is the my market. So who I am offering this new thing, this new strategy. As we can see here, the design thinking is the very center, is the focus of this kind of innovation, of this process of innovation. And my strategy can start from each one of these dimensions. So in order to understand how can I start from one point and reach the others, I want to bring an example. One of the biggest companies in the world that make a huge innovation into the market, which is IKEA. IKEA starts with a very simple idea of creating nice and well-designed products to offer to the market at an affordable price. So basically they start with the dimension of what they want to offer to the market. But then they also move to a very effective branding strategy and a marketing strategy by creating a business point where they were offering already defined solution of furniture into a house. And on the other hand, they also innovate the supply chain by not going to produce in China very poor products, but using national capabilities and skills of companies that were working many years in that industry, and let them work for IKEA. So the last innovation will be the target. We have to consider that 30 years ago, the furniture industry was basically referring just to families, which were the only real market for the furniture industry. But the change of time also changed the potential of this market, and IKEA understand that. And they start to offer a solution also for the single people, for the students, for the new small families. And this was a huge success of IKEA, if we consider that is today the company is producing more profits into the world. So, as I said before, we don't have to consider innovation just a technological thing, just a technological way of introduce new product into the market, but it could be a new idea, a new strategy to offer a product into the market. But what's really important for companies to, even if they are able to start an innovation strategy process, they don't have to stop. Otherwise, their competitors, before or after, they're going to reach them into the market, and it will be useless. So the innovation strategy has to be an ongoing process that it starts defining the context, where I want to arrive, as we said before, and focus on the action that needs to be taken to arrive on that. As we said at the very beginning, it's really important to find creative ideas, so work with creative people, to good designer, and then create a strategic plan and to integrate all the components of the business into one single strategy. At the end of it, when I enter into the market and when I start to succeed, it's important to get feedback, to get the opinion of the market and try to understand what is going to be the next step. Not just adding value, as we said before, in the traditional approach, but creating totally something new to renovate again the market and start again from the very beginning. So now we are going to check a couple of examples of companies that were able to integrate an innovation strategy into their products. In the very beginning of the 2000s, the three biggest companies producing console games enter into the market with similar products. Sony with PlayStation 2, Microsoft with the Xbox, and Nintendo with the Nintendo Cube. So the products were very similar, but they obtained different results. PlayStation 2 and Xbox were huge success, and they obtained really good high profits. But Nintendo Cube was poor in graphic and also wasn't able to offer online gaming that at that time was the real new innovation. So it was a big failure for Nintendo. They almost go bankrupt because of that. But the second generation, the next generation of console games was bringing a very huge surprise. So if Sony and Microsoft bring to the market products that are that were the natural evolution of the previous ones, with the PlayStation 3 and the Xbox 360, were just products with a better graphic, with a better way to play online. They got quite good results, but the huge innovation was the Nintendo Wii. Nintendo Wii, another time Nintendo entered the market with a product was with with a worse graphic compared to the other one, and with no online gaming. But the huge innovation, thanks to a new technology called gyroscope, was this controller that is no longer the old way to have hold with the two hands, but just follow your movements when you play. So we have to consider that the traditional way of playing a game was really limited by the movement that the old controller were allowed the player to make. And in a certain way, we can say the console was playing the player and not the opposite. But Nintendo Wii bring this new experience of gaming by take off any limitation in terms of movement, and a new involving experience that was completely unbelievable for the players. And if one consider how big was the success, we have to think that in 2008, after 3 years of the introducing of these products, Nintendo sold almost 2 times the console comparing to Sony and Microsoft. And in the charts of the top 10 sold games, Nintendo has the first 8 positions. The second example, unfortunately, is still a prototype and not a final product, but it can help us to understand how much innovative material and design combined together can totally change our traditional market. In 2008, the BMW chief design department, Chris Bangle, had this idea to create a totally new car that using a new material had to take off the hard part of the body. So he went to Material Connection, and together they found this idea of using a new material, which is actually a new formulation of the traditional lycra, and to cover the car with this textile, creating just one big piece, almost a sculpture effect with no conjunction, one part to the other. So thanks to this material, which is high durable and extremely expansion resistant, they were able to totally take off the structure and the body of the car and make it so much more lightweight and brand new design, totally brand new design. So, okay, now we can see also interesting solution about the technical solution about the car. In the front, the lights are completely hidden when they are turned off, but once turned on, the mechanical part open and shows the light, like almost an eye that is open. And the opposite, in the back part of the car, the turn indicators are totally covered by the textile, which is not totally, but almost totally transparent, and so allows the lights to see through the material. So maybe, of course, we are not ready to drive a car covered totally by fabrics because of safety reason. But we can think that in 10 years, for new technology advancement and development, we are going maybe to drive totally new cars. So now, in order to understand how materials are so effective for the product, for the mass production, we are going to see some example. With a gene example, we saw how much every day, every idea as a material can have a material solution, and how the design and the innovative materials combination can solve so many mass production challenge, from innovation to sustainability. But the material in the last year is not just a way of solve issues for a company. It also became the very center of a lot of company strategies. And as we said before, it's also touched many areas that I've never touched before by the materials, like the marketing and the communication. So the first example is, I think, pretty well known in terms of brand by all of you, regards application transfer and how a material can be taken from a material that is totally created and thought for a specific industry, can be taken from that application and used in another industry to create a new added value. So the basketball player Michael Jordan used to have his own brand shoes since 1985 almost. And in the last years, he comes out with the idea to use a new material and new technology for their shoes. So every year, he used to work with his own designer and try to apply something as never seen before in the basketball shoes industry. In 2004, working again aside with Material Connection, they comes out with the idea of using. They have this idea actually to hide. To use an innovative material to provide technical looking to the shoes and totally hide in the front the laces of the shoes. So the material chosen was monofilament sleeves, normally used by covering the cables in the building industry. This material was chosen because it was really high-tech looking, was really flexible, and at the same time was really resistant. You have to think that a basketball players really stress the shoes in terms of torsion, and so the material has to be really resistant. Beside that, they also find out after a while that the properties of the material were also helping the shoes to make the ankle of the player safer. And this is a really important thing for a basketball player, because the injuries to the ankle are the most common. So in order to understand how big was the success of these shoes, Nike sold about 5 million pairs of shoes, and it's one of the biggest success in the shoes history today. The second example I want to bring is not about a material that is taken from an industry and put in another, but an entire technology. The fashion designer, Iris van Herpen, had this idea to create a new collection of dress that were really extremely complicated, and he wasn't able to realize them with normal technology. So he found out that a new way of 3D printing for those years, actually, the selective laser sintering, which is a technology that allows to fuse materials like metals, plastic, and ceramic, and combine them together into complex shapes, was the perfect way to realize his dream. So he worked together with an architect in order to transform his drones into a 3D model, and so the machine was able to realize a ready-to-use dress that we can see here are really, really complex. So in this case, we can see how a new technology of production can affect in a really extremely important way the mass production of big brands. And talking about 3D printing, I really think that in the next year, this is going to be a huge revolution for the mass production. The third success stories, it's about materials that are able to realize a concept, an idea. Starting from 2005, the German brand Puma decided to become more sustainable. And they start to think about changing their final products, the shoes and the t-shirts and other things. But they quickly realized they wasn't able to make good results with this challenge. And so they changed their mind and they start to work on the packaging. Packaging today, we all know it's a huge problem in terms of sustainability and environmental impact. Because our society is producing every day more and more packaging waste. So they work together with Yves Béar, a material connection, in order to find a way to create more sustainable and ecological packaging. And the results, after 3 years of working, was simple, but as the product says, really clever idea. Clever little bag, it's a packaging that simply take off the top of the normal shoes box and replace it and the classical plastic bag with a new bag made of recycled PET bottles. So the results of this change and of this design is reduce of the amount of cardboard by 65% comparing to traditional packaging, and also small reducement in the packaging cost, just 0.02 euro. Now you may think that 0.02 euro in terms of packaging is nothing. But if you think that Puma was producing about 80 million packaging box per year, it means that with a simple change in design, they produce a new packaging. They start to challenge a new sustainable campaign, and they also save almost $2 million per year. So I think this is a really huge success in terms of strategy. The third case, it's about a material which was able to create an entire brand. Of course, you all know Swatch. We have to think that in the middle of 80s, the watches market was composed by only iron, heavyweight, and really expensive watches. But thanks to the plastic revolution of those years and to the very smart ideas of Swatch to reduce the components of the watch from 91 to 51, Swatch was able to create a huge revolution into the market, entering this new product, which was the thinnest watch with a plastic body. So the plastic was able in those years to create an unlimited possibilities in terms of pattern, in terms of colors, and in terms of shapes. And it was also able to reflect the spirit of those years, so create a huge success in terms of marketing. Also, Swatch has this very smart idea to work together with famous people and famous designers and famous artists to create a new collection of watches that everybody wants to have. So it creates also collectible products. And as we know, for many, many years, Swatch was one of the biggest success in the market story ever. In the last case, we can see how a material can generate a new business for a company. AGC, it's an Italian company, Italian brand, who produced something that at least once in a lifetime, everybody of you probably already used, if you don't know. They produced the rear label of your pants. So after many years of big success in terms of sales, because of the Chinese entering in this market, they had to start think about new business. And working again aside of material connection, they tried to find ways about how can be used the materials in different industry. So just making small changes in terms of the composition of the products, they were able to create a new products for the furniture industry, and they start to create their own line. And this was a really big success for them because they were able to enter a totally new market with a totally new product that was also ecological and environmental friendly. So in this case, we can see how a material is able to introduce a new market for a company. Now, before to skip to the second part of the presentation, I want to talk a little bit about how technology is affecting the material industry, creating a new generation and new trends in terms of material. The first one is the tech hybridization. With tech hybridization, we mean the combination of properties and characteristics coming from merging from different materials, and also the addition with high-tech elements. So the first example, it's tiles, concrete tile, which is normally not allowed to transmit the light. In this case, the concrete is combined with optical fibers, which are individually positioned into the tile. And these glass fibers allows the material to transmit the lights from one part to the other. It could be, of course, natural light as well as artificial one. And to use the concrete in a way that has never used before, like for branding, logos, and ornaments and signage. The second example, which is pretty similar, is called terrazzo, and it's still a ceramic panel that incorporates acrylic glass fiber or glass fiber materials, but in this case they are not going from one side to the other, but they are combined together on the same side, and they are connected with artificial light, most of the time a LED. So in this case the tile allows to transmit directly, and also for interior, the lights through it, and to create again shapes and products that are never thought before with the concrete. In the third case, the product is a glass that is combined with a polymeric film that and the film is equipped with LED points. So in this case, basically the most interesting thing of this material is that the circuit of the LED are almost invisible to see. So when the light is turned on, you have the effect to have floating and not connected light points into a glass. And again, this material allows many applications in terms of architectural and interior design, as well as products. The next generation of material, which has been created thanks to technology, is allowed by the destruction of the boundaries between natural and artificial materials. More and more material manufacturers today are trying to create natural effect by using artificial materials, and also vice versa. So the first one is a ceramic tile that provide the same outlook and the same touch feeling of the wood. Now you may ask, why do I have to put a ceramic tile who looks like wood instead of wood in my house? So the answer is that the ceramic tile is more resistant, is also more durable and less affected by elements like water or temperature. And also it's cheaper, and it doesn't it's more ecological because you don't have to cut trees to proceed to produce it. The second example is high density polyethylene fiber, which is extruded into flat and circular yarns. It can be provided in many colors, most of the time reproducing natural patterns like wood or fibers. So the good things about this material is that it hasn't any limitation in terms of dimension, and also it's more resistant than normal woods. It's resistant to UV rays, to water, and to weather extreme condition. So it can be used, for example, for external furniture instead of natural fibers or wood. The third main trend is the technological leap, which means how material can affect the mass production goods and the mass production brands. So in the human history, many times the material changed the way to produce things. As we said before, the plastic revolution in the 70s and the 80s completely changed the mass production landscape. But if we want to go even more in deep, we have to consider how the silicon microchip replaced the transistor and changed the technology in a really extremely way. So now, for example, we have this product which is called Biotex Flux PLA, which is a composite sheets consisting in fibers made of PLA. PLA, it's a kind of natural plastic made of corn, so it's really ecological. And utilizing a specific technology which is called twistless technology, that combines and woven the fiber into a specific direction, allowing the material to become really strained. This material can be used to substitute many traditional products. The thing is that this product is also recyclable, and it's really lower weight compared to other products, and it can be formed in any shape. So basically, it can be applied for, again, furniture, for the automotive industry, and for other application. Apinet, it's a compostable thermoplastic elastomer. It's produced by using agricultural sustainable raw materials. So the good thing of this material is that it provides almost the same properties and features of a normal and made with chemical production plastic, but is totally 100% recyclable and made of, as we said before, natural products. So it can be used and replace totally normal plastic for every kind of usage, reducing and lowering the impact on the environment in a very substantial way. The last topic is about eco-innovation. And so even if material can be 100% sustainable, they can really change the way we are impacting the environment by creating and by producing mass production goods. So the first example is called Curran, and it's high-strength composite additive biofiber formulated using degraded carrots. But they can also be used other vegetables. So the unbelievable things of this product is that it's more strength and it's got better properties than carbon fiber composites. So basically, with this way of producing these composites, we can again substitute chemical products and plastic products to realize many different things. The second example is even more extreme, and it's really interesting. EcoCradle, it's a material made from agricultural waste materials and produced by living organisms, in this case mushrooms. The best thing of this product is that its production doesn't require almost any energy. And no water and no chemical products. So the material is just produced by putting the waste into a dark and humid room and by adding this mushroom on it. So in 7 days, the mushroom is able to create miles and miles of white tiny fiber that's totally covered and bind together the waste production, realizing a final product that after a cooking process, it has the same characteristic of the expanded polystyrene that we all know it's really a pollutant material. So this material can be used, for example, for packaging, but it's also used as isolant into the architectural and building industry. The last material of this category is called plantic. In this case, we have again a material that is used for packaging, and it is realized using cornstarch by 90% and 10% of water. The interesting thing of the product is that it's 100% biodegradable. It's suitable for food contact, so it can be used to contain foods, and is water soluble in just 1 hour. This means that we can buy our foods and throw away the packaging into the water, and in just 1 hour it disappears. As we, I think, all know how much waste we produce in our houses because of foods, we can understand how much is important to develop this kind of products for the environment. So, keep talking about material. I think we all understand how much sustainability is the real main topic for the new development of mass product and for our industries. So now I want to go through a selection of eco-material in terms of innovation. The first selection will be dedicated to the architectural and the building industry. The first one, it's called glass crystal. It's a material which is thought as a facade for building. The interesting thing of this material is that it's able to absorb energy, as 16 millimeter of this material are able to absorb as much energy, as much heat as 25 centimeter of concrete wall. So the two interesting thing that this material is bringing is that beside this, it is translucent and it provides good insulation. It's also seasonally variant shading. This means that the prism that compose this glass are positioned in a particular way that doesn't allow to the late ray to enter the room in the hot season, like summer, and to enter it into the winter season when it's more cold. So basically, the material is able to stabilize and to decide the temperature of the room depending on the season. And the second interesting thing is his ability to absorb thermal energy. This is because this material incorporated a core which is composed by a film that is a phase change material. In normal temperature, which means under 25 degrees, the material inside the glass has a liquid state, and so it's transparent. But when the temperature raises over 25, the material is able to absorb the energy, and so to reduce the temperature of the room, and at the same time to change its composition, its state, and pass from the liquid state to the solid state, and become opaque instead of translucent, and so reflecting even more the light rays. So we can understand easily how much this material can help a building to save energy and to keep into the room the right temperature. The second material, it's a 40 nanometer thick photocatalytic coating that can be applied to surface of material in order to give the material a self-cleaning properties. So basically the coating is composed by titanium dioxide, which is able to destroy and remove pollution from the surface of a building or a wall. Basically, when the dirt and the dust stuck into a material, the coating working together with the UV ray is able to break and destroy the molecules of the dirt and reduce them into more simple compounds. And then natural elements such as water and wind will do the rest of the job by taking off the dirt from the material, from the surface of the material. So we can see here in this picture a surface where half of the surface has been applied the coating and the second one is not, and we can see which is the difference. Also in this picture we can see in particular in the bottom one how the surfaces which are not treated are much more affected by the dirt, and one that are treated are not. So we can see here how the photocatalysis effects work, and which is the opposite of the photosynthesis. Basically, the UV ray combined with they use the coating as a trigger to create a chemical process that destroy basically the molecules of the dirt. And a really interesting thing of this process that the titanium dioxide is not consumed into the process, which means that it lasts for many and many years. Again, we can see how the material affects the color of the building. This material, I think it's one of the most interesting discovery of the last period. Concrete cloth is a cement impregnated flexible fiber. So basically it's a fiber that is impregnated by concrete that in its normal form, it's flexible. So in this case, we have a combination of material, a PVC fabric and a cement, which allows the architects and the designer to create unlimited shapes with a concrete, which is normally a really hard and hard to work material. So we can see here, which is the process. In its beginning form, the material is really flexible, and the architects or whoever wants can give the material the shape they want. And then they just have to adding water to the material in order to make it strong and to make it hard. And after 2 hours, the material is like a normal concrete structure. But the most interesting thing is that it's much thin and lightweight. So when the material is unset, it's, as we said, really flexible and can be also cut to give a different shape, can be nailed or stapled, or worked with normally tools that are used to change the shapes of the textiles. So it can be used also for furniture, in particular for, I think, exterior ones. So we can see here when the material is combined with the water, it becomes also waterproof and fire resistant. So this could be a really interesting revolution for the architecture industry. The last material is more suitable for interior design, and it's called evergreen. It's an MDF panel covered with natural moss. This material is interesting because besides being able to absorb the sounds, it also contributes to improving the ambient air quality, absorbing and filtering dirt particles into an environment. So the material is also don't need any maintenance because it got its nutrients from the environment air, and this the moss is also color fast, so it lasts many months. As we can see here, it can be used for interior design where maybe there are no windows, and also the smells can be a problem. Now we skip to one material used into the furniture industry, which is called Returnity. Returnity is recyclable flame retardant textiles. But the most important and interesting thing of this material is not just its properties, but the way it is produced and the way it is reused. In fact, it has been awarded with the Cradle to Cradle Gold certification because the manufacturer created a process in which he basically take back used fabrics in order to reuse them into the production process to produce new fibers. So the interesting thing of this process is that no waste is produced to gain these results. Actually, this material is used for contract upholstery because it's really resistant, and in the automotive interiors where the durability is really important. So we can talk about a little bit about cradle to cradle. In the normal mass production, when the lifetime of the product is finished, the product most of the time get to disposal. In the cradle to cradle process, a material and a product is supposed to be the starting point of a new process, of a new production process. So we can see as the production starts everything, and then the products is used for different application, and when the lifetime of the life cycle of the products ending, the products has to come back to the production and become a new raw material for a new products or a technical nutrient for the environment. So Cradle to Cradle is trying to bring to companies this process in order to stop industrial waste production, which is one of the biggest problems of our industries. Now, as they told me, there is also a department of fashion design into the Izmir University. Just two quick example of good practice in terms of eco-innovation. Again, Nike started in the 90s a program which is called Reuse a Shoe, in order to collect wasted shoes and to use them for other application. But in this case, for these shoes, they realized for the first time an entire products realized by combining together waste of other shoes. Unfortunately, Nike Trash Talk is still a limited edition shoes and is not available on the market. But as I understand, Nike is really pushing many energy to start realize environmental friendly products. The second example is related to a material which is called EcoFi, and that is a fabric, a polyester made by PET, recycled PET bottles. So this material is really similar to cotton and wool, but at the same time it's even more resistant, and it's able to, more than wool and cottons, to give insulating properties. So New Balance, again, a brand producing shoes, realized for the first time a product which is totally produced by using this material, which are, as we said, PET plastic. So to produce a pair of shoes, they just need 8 bottles of PET. We can see here how the fiber is produced and how it's strength, and then how it's combined to realize the shoe. So now, to finish my presentation, I want to talk a little bit about material connection and how, as also we see before, it can help companies to obtain good results in terms of innovation and into strategy. Material Connection is a global material consultancy and also a library of innovative and sustainable solutions. Nowadays, we have 9 offices in 7 countries. We have a team that is composed by more than 20 material experts and more than 30 innovative specialists, which are able to help a company not just choosing the raw material, but also to build up a whole strategy around it. The library, which is our material database, is composed by more than 7,000 innovative and sustainable products coming from all over the world and produced by more than 3,500 materials manufacturers. Actually, Material Connection into the world has more than 2,000 members using the library or services we are providing them. And thanks to 15 years of strategy innovation, we are providing them customized services. So now, just a quick explanation about how Material Connection changed in these years because of the market. Material Connection started in 1997 in New York with the idea to create a platform of connection between material manufacturers and companies who want to know more about products. But after a few years, and thanks to the knowledge of materials and the chance to work with almost every kind of industry, Material Connection started to offer, almost in 2000, also consultancy projects and became a consultant for companies. In 2002, they started this licensing program with the idea to bring Material Connection in every corner in the world, and work aside locally with companies. Between 2004 and 2005, the sustainable issue enter into the markets, and company and designers starts to talk about how was important to produce something that was impacting less to the environment. And in this way, also Material Connection changes way to research material, introducing sustainability as the main criteria of innovation. After a few years, in 2008, the market, because of the crisis, as we said before, changed again. And so be sustainable was no longer, or innovative, was no longer enough. But as we said before, the companies has to introduce and implement innovation strategy process, starting even from the materials. And so again, Material Connection changes way to provide consultancy by became a strategy consultants that can help a company in every aspect of the production and of the design of a product. So the slogan of Material Connection is every idea as a material solution. And the idea behind this is that, as we said before, material can be the main element of the innovation process of a company. Material Connection continue to change its way of providing consultancy related to the changes of the market. And by all these years, as we can see in this slide, work together the main companies into the world, the biggest company into the world, to realize customized projects. Beside Material Connection, there is also another company which is called Culture and Commerce, which is one of the first and probably the most important design agency of the world. As we see here, just a few of the members of Culture and Commerce, like Philip Stark, Marcel Wanders, Pierre Lissoni, or Yves Béar, are represented by Culture and Commerce. Basically, Material Connection can work and used to work aside this designer in order to provide the companies not just a simple solution in terms of material, but a whole consultancy that includes design, that includes the choice of the right material, the development of the products, and also the marketing in order to provide the right communication into the markets. And so we arrived to Material Connection Istanbul, which is born in 2011 as part of YEM. YEM purpose and Material Connection goal is to collaborate with every level of the Turkish market in order to bring a more innovative and sustainable culture into the country. So for this reason, we strongly support any institution, and we are able to create dedicated service and special projects for institutions as well as for universities, and of course also working aside companies in order to provide dedicated service and to create a new, more innovative and sustainable production for the Turkish market. So it's finished.